Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Hyperthetical podcast, everybody's favorite podcast. How we all doing?
My favorite show, Rogan.
Happy Easter! Happy Easter!
Happy Easter.
We're recording this a
Ramadan.
couple days after Easter. Yes.
What's
Happy
after
Ramadan.
Easter? Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
Christmas.
So yeah, today joined by, as always, Bantamay,
Yes.
nationally funny, the Chris and only.
I have many
He's here.
titles.
Many titles. And me,
Yeah.
your host, Just Diesel.
What episode are we on?
Episode number 7. Episode number 7.
Yay.
I was thinking actually, before we start, most podcasts, let's be realistic, most podcasts don't actually get past episode 5, do they?
Do they not?
Really?
Like, if
Let
you
me
think
fact
about
check
it.
that.
Yeah, fact check that.
But I'm talking about ones that smaller YouTubers set up. I've seen a lot of them where they've just stopped doing them.
90% of podcasts don't get past episode 3.
Really?
1.8 million people quit.
So we
And
wow.
and the 90% that are left from that will quit after 20 episodes.
So right now we're
Anyways.
in the top 10%. So that's
Yes.
good. Yeah.
And then the
Top
top
10%.
oh god brain.
1%.
Top
right?
1%.
Yeah. It's
Um,
really-
will only need to publish 21 episodes. So we have to get the 21 episodes to be the top 1% of podcasts.
Nice.
Whoop whoop. Okay, so you may be wondering what's the topic of today's episode. You might not be wondering that actually because you saw it on the title. I'm going to tell it to you anyways. How do you start a YouTube channel? How do you start a social media career? We're all varying levels of success and history on social media, and I thought we'd share our experiences and talk. If we were to each start a YouTube channel from scratch, how would we do it? Who wants to start?
Shall we talk about our own like what we do,
Oh, fucking hell.
like our histories?
Should we talk about the history?
How many channels have we actually all owned, though?
Good
If
question.
you had to put a number to it.
Oh god.
Let me have a quick count.
I started a lot, when I was a kid, teenagers, 13, 14, 15, whatever. I started a lot. I had a lot of ideas and then just didn't do anything with them. I literally didn't make a video
Yeah.
because I just didn't know how to.
So do we only count ones that are have public videos on them?
No. Any YouTube channel you've made.
Okay.
Yeah, any
7.
Probably about the same, actually.
5 or 6, I can't count.
I always remember my first YouTube channel, and I made a video. It was. Do you remember when Advanced Warfare came out? And I did a challenge. Said if the video gets 1 million dislikes, I'll run around my garden in just my Family Guy underpants with Advanced Warfare down my kecks.
And how old were you?
I don't want to talk about that.
So you're sort of volunteering yourself for some very sus material.
And they were very
Yikes.
loose boxes, by the way, and there was a slip, and I didn't even realize.
Wait, you got 1 million likes? Fuck off.
No. Advanced Warfare got 1 million dislikes.
Oh,
So-
right.
Yeah. So I made a comment chain. If it gets 1 million dislikes, I'll do that challenge, just as a joke. So that got 20,000 likes, that comment. Jack Frags, the famous Jack Frags, commented and went, okay, you need to do this now, because it hit 1 million dislikes. I did it,
Nice.
and I'm not going to show you. That ended up doing quite well, and I had a slip on it, and everyone pointed it out. So,
You're a child.
bro, I was 14 or 15, right? And the worst part was my school found out about it. The kids at school, they put it on their phones while they were in assembly, and someone put it on the projector. And I sat there. Just what could you do? There's no way. If you laugh, whatever. If you start making a show of yourself, it was the most embarrassing thing I've ever went through in my life.
God.
Chris, how old did you say you were?
I was about 14 or 15, I think.
Chris has just dropped the biggest lore bomb about his past.
I've never heard this before.
Why have I never heard this?
I'll show you at the end of the podcast.
Chris, I've known you for 3-4 years now.
I swear I brought it up at some point.
No.
No, okay.
Yeah, so you would have been 17 or 18.
No.
Yeah. Advanced Warfare came out in
No.
2014. I was 16 in 2014, so you would have been.
Oh shit, you're
Yeah.
right. I would have been.
Okay, that's not true. I was here thinking you'd be 12, 13, but no.
Just very immature.
Yeah, I'm young out of the group. I've been groomed by these guys. This is a cry for help. But yeah, no, it's always the worst when people from your school find your channel because
Oh, yeah.
I had one when I was like year 8, or something like that, when I was like stupid kid, and I'd make these stupid like 10-second videos of like, I remember this one where for whatever reason I just decided record myself with a ping pong ball in my mouth with like my puffy cheeks whatever, and I just spit it out at the camera. Don't know why I did that. Idiot child. Got made fun of course, as you would. And then my old channel, actually, Diesel Stern, which is now, may they rest in peace, which is now dormant and retired. My friends also found out about that when must have been year 10. So I was a bit older, like 14, 15. And that wasn't good either. That was when I used to make like terrible Rocket League videos. But yeah.
Yeah.
My advice is, if you're gonna do it, tell no one. And also probably wait until you're out of secondary school.
So I started mine in 2014, it would have been 2015. Like my first attempt to be like YouTube famous. I'm never gonna say the name of the channel because I've lost access to it and can't delete the videos. But I did videos like long form rants about topics like, you can't open a packet of scissors without a packet of scissors. What's up with that? Hypothetically, guys.
That's clever. Yeah, that's clever.
And,
Though.
I like
and
that.
like, yeah, and those different topics. And I used to talk with like an American accent. I used to be like, "Hello, guys, and welcome," and and yeah,
That
and
sounded like you.
people in college found out, and they were like, taking the absolute piss out of me. And I think after that, I stopped uploading on it. I gave up.
Oh my
after
god.
that.
At least it was never that bad for me. Like, my friends knew about it, and people that I wouldn't consider my friends knew about it, but I was never publicly shamed for it, which is okay.
Especially because I used to wear a dressing gown.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah, that was weird.
it's better than Chris. He wore his cape.
Yeah. Literally, I had Family Guy boxers on.
So my second channel was like a group gaming one, like a group of my friends and I.
Yeah.
I uploaded 90% of the videos, and then my friend uploaded, I think 2. And then because of that, I decided to go my own way with it, and I created Banter Main, and I made a few weird videos before I sort of thought, all right, I watch a lot of like the Misfits. This is in like 2018 now, and then I was like, okay, I can do funny moments. And I'll be honest with you, I couldn't do funny moments. It was awful.
Not until this guy came along.
I've rewatched all of those videos recently. So I do my yearly purge. I go through all of the videos on my channel and I cut out the jokes that did not age well. Such as the joke I made about Chernobyl, and like I say, oh, in Russia, and then someone goes, no, it's in Ukraine. And I say, well, Ukraine is part of Russia. Aged like fucking milk. Anyway, loads of stuff. And yeah, going through those old videos was painful, man. And then of course I made Banter, my second channel, that I haven't had time to edit a video for. And then I made the ASMR channel that I don't bother on because I don't really care that much. And then obviously Hyperthetical, which
He doesn't care.
No, I don't have the passion to make ASMR videos. But then in the future, I'm thinking of making another one, but that's not to talk about right now. That'll be like another year's time. What about you guys?
Well, actually, I want to talk about. I've told you guys definitely in the past, but a lot of people always ask me where I got the name Diesel Stern when I had that name. Now, of
You've
course,
had that
I'm
for
just
a while,
Diesel.
to be fair, because you're on Instagram. Remember, I'm sure you spoke about it on Instagram. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So basically, what happened? I started the channel Diesel Stern on February 2017, and I was intending it to be a paired channel. Me and my friend. We were both like, I think he was 13, I was 14, something like that. And it was going to be a joint Rocket League channel. We were on PS4. My username was LGamer2003.
LGamer.
Actually, the reason it was that, because I didn't know what username to make, so my dad just made one for me.
Right.
My friend's username was D's Nuts. So when we made the channel, we combined our names to get Diesel. And then we were like, we need a surname almost. So we went on Rocket League. I was looking through just random items and I found the Stern wheel. So just a basic wheel. I thought, that sounds cool. And bang, there it was.
Wow.
That's right. Okay, that's interesting
Yeah.
lore.
How did Chris tell us about your lovely lad era? How did that come
Yeah,
Oh,
go on, go through your
gosh.
history of shit.
Oh my, the lovely lad. Oh, so that's close to 10 years old. The whole like saga.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
Yeah. And what's funny is, you know, the Winkies, like XLHD
Yeah.
and all
Mhm.
that. So they have their origins, especially Dan, in the lovely lad lore, which is
Ooh.
crazy. It started on Skype and was it TeamSpeak? Yeah, was it TeamSpeak or what was? I
Yeah,
can't.
TeamSpeak.
TeamSpeak was
TeamSpeak.
better.
Yeah. So we actually started it, and what we'd do, we'd go on Tinder when they had group chats. Many people don't know this.
Wait,
They had
what?
Group
chats on
chats?
Tinder. Yeah. So you'd have about 4 or 5 lads, and you'd match with 4 or 5 girls.
That sounds
it-
sus.
The carnage that would come from that. So I don't know how it just stuck like lovely lad. I don't know where it came from exactly, but we had a Facebook chat, we had a Skype chat, we had a TeamSpeak, and then we started making YouTube videos, and it turned into like an actual like lovely lads.
And you had a lot of them, didn't you? A lot of people making YouTube videos.
Did we
I'm sure you had a few people at least.
in the original lovely lads?
I don't know. I don't know about the original. I only joined when you started modding Siege stuff.
Oh yeah, that was Gintil, yeah, Visualization, yeah. So there's been like 2 or 3 iterations of the lovely lads. But yeah, it was back from the Skype days. Then Dan went off, XLHD went off to make the Winkies, and they're like the upgraded version of the lovely lads. And then I went with Diesel. Diesel was in it for a bit, I guess. You...
Yeah, actually, before you add me in, I'll tell after you've told your bit how I entered the fray, because I met Chris, and then I met Banter through Chris. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. So it all got big on Instagram because I came from Instagram, which is, I guess, the weirdest origin story because you wouldn't think so. My YouTube never did well, never really took off, but I took off on Instagram. I think at the peak I was on like 80,000 followers on Instagram, but it was only Siege, and that was the problem. And Siege is shit, so and it
Yeah.
died, so you couldn't
Yeah,
really
shall I jump
translate
in?
that. Yeah, jump in.
Yeah. So this is the sort of Instagram storyline here is. So I started I was playing Siege for a while, and I started a meme page on Instagram, in the start of 2019 for Siege, because I thought easy, cool, get some followers, grow a community, make some friends. So I did that where I would post 5 times a day, which then went down to I think 3 times a day. Literally every day. I was still surprised I was this consistent for like 3 years straight. And you meet people, you grow together. I was actually at the time one of the faster growing pages. And then suddenly, maybe a year after I started, this guy, the lovely lad, it's coming out of nowhere because he's making his own original memes. I was making some, but I was reposting a fair amount.
That was a
But
very contentious issue back in the day. Original memes, by
Yeah.
the way. Yeah.
It was, but because Chris was making all of his memes himself, he was massively growing in popularity to the point where he was one of the, if not the fastest growing Instagram Siege page. And then it was around October 2019, I think, when Chris messaged me, we first made contact on Instagram. He invited me to this Discord server, the lovely lads. I meet people there, I make friends, and then we get to play a bit more as well. And then starting in, I think it was February 2020, was when we did this Siege Death Run video with Banter Main, who I just been introduced to.
Diesel was very quiet back then. I think for the
I had
first
a crap mic.
many times I played with you, I literally didn't even know you were in the calls. Over everyone else
Yeah.
screaming, I literally couldn't hear you at all. And I don't know when we actually started talking.
We did the Siege Death Run video. Then we
Yeah.
did a couple more like comedy
Yeah, we
night
did.
stuff.
Oh, you
But
had
it was
comedy
always-
nights, yeah.
I really
It was
enjoyed
always
that.
it was always that me, Chris, and Banter were like the regular ones that would always be there for those sessions,
Yes.
which I think is how we sort of started talking.
I think we had a group chat for it,
Yeah.
and I think we
Yeah.
might have talked on there a bit more. But then I don't know how you and I, Deez, or how we started getting along, because I honestly don't remember talking to you that much when we were all doing group stuff.
Yeah,
You know what it might have been? It might have been the mods.
Maybe.
might
Maybe.
have been, yeah. Yeah, then it started with the mods, I'm pretty sure, where
Siege was
Can I
once
just
we got
point
to
out,
the mods.
most people we spoke to and like grown with have quit.
Oh yeah.
Like we're
90%.
some of the last people left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of any that we started with that are still making content,
No.
that we were actively friends with. Obviously, I have played with people that are still making content. We're talking a lot about us. Should we talk more about YouTube?
Yeah,
So,
well, that's what
yeah.
I wanted to give the preface of
Mm.
our history before we get onto.
Oh, well, Chris, you haven't talked about your history until now, what you're doing now. Well, I've talked about what I'm doing and that I'm going to start up a new channel, but pending. Diesel set up a new channel, and he's doing very well on that. Diesel, do you want to tell the reason why you started a new channel? This will help people.
The reason why I started the new channel was because I wanted to not be tied to funny moments. I wanted to expand my content more. And because my old channel was so old that it was started in 2017, I always had this suspicion in the back of my head that it was holding me back. So I wanted to start fresh and do challenge videos. That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I do genuinely believe that my subscriber base, obviously, as much as I like them, I do believe that they hold me back because a lot of them want to see Siege or they want to see COD. Not all of them want to see Valorant, which I'm currently doing, and therefore I think it holds the videos back.
They're still doing well though,
They're
considering.
doing, yeah,
right?
They're doing okay. I think it's just the fact that gaming's difficult to get into, and we'll get into that a bit later after Chris has told his thing. But genuinely, YouTube as it is today, you've got to appeal to your subscribers. I'm not really appealing to my subscribers. Like, it would be, in theory, my videos would do better if I made a new channel and uploaded on there. However, because it's funny moments, I like putting it on my channel. I've already got the sub base. I've already got everything set up, and I'm attached to it. I don't want to leave it unless I was doing something completely different. Anyway,
I'd like to point out that the algorithm will inevitably change again.
it probably will.
So it might be subscriber heavy now, right? And it's pushing that, but maybe one day it'll revert back. Who knows? Like the dynamics always shifting.
So what's your channels, Chris? I say channels.
Yeah, so I have two main ones. Actually, well, three technically, because I have sort of like a vlog and gardening one, which is really, I know people wouldn't believe that,
Niche.
but I do. Very niche, yeah. So with my main channel, the Christian only, or former the Christian only, it's now Bjorn Kristen. I did that. Well, the thing is, I'm like banter. I'm attached to my main channel. I know mine's more dead than yours by a long shot, but obviously that was logistical issues, and also it was Siege. So Siege is just, I'm not interested. I don't think anyone here is interested in Siege anymore. So I just want to treat that sort of like how I want to do it. The original YouTube idea would just make videos and have fun, and that's what I'm doing. My last video, to be fair, was an animation, so that leads me on to my second channel, which is Nationally Funny, and that's purely animation based, and that's doing really well.
Really good.
Yeah, compared to like my actual subscriber counts. So that I'm sort of on Luke's. So I've done a bit of both here. I've went Luke's way, making a new channel, but then still attached to my main old channel, and I feel like both of them are doing well in their own way. So I'm satisfied with my creative potential. I'm making animations and I'm also making gaming videos. And I think I've sort of got the best of both worlds right now. Yeah. So that's where I'm up to now, anyway.
So now that you know sort of where we came from and our qualifications on why we're actually giving this advice.
25 minutes I was talking about ourselves.
Yeah, but we didn't know a lot for that, to be fair. It was nice
That's
talking
true.
about it.
That's
Yeah.
true. How would you guys start a new talking to the viewers? You guys say you wanted to learn how to make a channel. How would you do it?
Go on, speak up. I hear you.
Tell
I'm
me.
in your ears right now.
Yeah.
Wherever you are right now, even if you're on a bus, tell us exactly. Tell everyone how you would do it.
If we just say random names, like
yeah.
we're gonna.
Yeah, Kyle.
Yeah, Noah.
Hannah, what are you doing?
Girls? Do girls watch this?
I think they do.
Do girls watch podcasts?
I think we actually have quite a strong female listening audience.
Hell
Tell you
yeah.
what, if you're female male, tell us in the comments. Tell us and tell us what you would do if you were to start a channel. It can be ironic, whatever you want. Just tell us.
Yeah. If you're female, hit banter up in the comments. If you're male, hit me up in the comments.
Right. If you're a child. Anyway.
Anyways.
I think the thing it's a struggle here. So do you go niche or do you go really broad?
See, I'm a firm believer of the thing of make it and they will come. But what people don't realize is that no one cares about your small funny moments YouTube channel. Funny moments is the most oversaturated YouTube market almost. If you want to start a channel, don't do funny moments because you're not gonna grow in it because everyone and their dog is doing funny moments.
Yep, it's oversaturated.
You gotta find something that you enjoy, find something that you can come up with new ideas that people haven't done before, and then find also what people want to see. For example, what I want to do is these funny challenge videos where I challenge myself to play games in really difficult ways. Trying to beat Valorant without guns. Who have you seen that's ever done that before? Not as many people as you've seen do funny Valorant moments. You've got to find an interest, and then you've got to find what people aren't posting.
I think also it's worth noting that gaming is also a difficult one, because I think the mistake I made is that I did a very specific niche game, and then when it came to switch off of that game, very difficult to do so. You've got to convince all your audience to watch a gameplay of a game that they might not like. So I think if you're doing gaming, you've got to go broad, as Diesel said. I think you've got to start off doing a lot of different games, but of the same sort of genre. If you're doing shooters, stick to shooters. If you're doing survival, stick to survival. Things like that. I think you've got to keep your audience interested, but not keep it so it's the same thing. If you limit yourself to one game, you're only going to grow as much as the game is popular.
Yeah.
It really is like that. When Siege was at its most popular, we were making modded content, which was extremely niche. Modding Siege was impossible, and we were making videos on it, and it was extremely, extremely popular because of that. And because we were the only ones doing it, we had 100% of the people watching us. But when Siege started to fall off in popularity, and it was around the end of the modding stuff, it started to fall off very hard. The views fell as well. If the community leaves the game, they leave YouTube. If the community leaves YouTube, they end up leaving the game. There's a symbiotic relationship between people watching videos and playing games. YouTube attracts new people, and people playing the game go to YouTube. It's a big service, especially streaming. Streaming is also, advisable. In fact, I would say streaming games is probably better than making videos on them, unless you have, as Diesel said, a very specific thing you're doing.
I would ask, what would be the more satisfying feeling? So say if like a video did really well, so it got lots of views and likes, or say you got tons of subscribers from it, or loads of comments, or loads of feedback. Like, what would be the most satisfying thing from a YouTube video that you could get out of people?
For me, it's interactions.
Yeah.
Comments mean a lot more than likes and views. If I had 100% of my audience watching that commented, it would mean so much to me. More so than if they just liked it, or if it blew up but got no comments at all. It would mean so much more just to have people interacting with it and enjoying it. As a creator, if you make content and nobody says, "Oh, I liked this. I liked when you did that," you just don't know if someone liked it. Yeah, they've pressed like on the video, but you don't know what they've enjoyed. You don't know at what point they've enjoyed it, and you won't really know how to improve specific points.
Sorry, yeah, no, I was gonna say I completely concur with you there. I would much rather build a community that enjoys what I'm doing and feeds back about it, rather than, a video does well and I'm only doing it for the views. Because if you only do YouTube for the views, when you don't get the views, where's the passion?
Yes,
We've seen that a few times from some people.
Yeah, for
me. But also, as an actual performance note, videos do better the more interactions they get. If you encourage your audience to interact, and they leave comments, they leave likes, the video gets boosted in the algorithm. Because it shows that people like it, and it shows that the algorithm then knows who to send it to. So interactions are very important as well.
And the thing with comments as well, I understand, because I'm not one to comment on videos.
Yeah, I don't comment on everything
that much. And I kind of get why people don't comment. But
yeah,
if we all sort of grow this sort of culture of commenting and sharing, no one's going to leave a hate comment back to you if you put something nice. If you say, great job, nice one, no one's going to look at that comment and reply and be like, oh, what are you doing? You're such an idiot. Why are you saying this? You're only gonna meet like good vibes with more good vibes. So you know, if you're not one that normally comments, just think 30 seconds out of your day to potentially make someone's whole day.
The vast majority of content I'm very much a consumer more so than I am a creator. I watch a lot of YouTube a day, probably at least 3 or 4 hours of YouTube a day. The vast majority of them I won't comment on because it's just my brain going, it needs stimulation, and like I'll put it on the side. But if there's a video out there which genuinely impresses me, I'm like, all right, I got to comment on that. That was good. The other day I got recommended a music video. For some reason at the moment I'm getting recommended music videos with like 21 views or something, like really, really small. Are you getting that as well?
Yeah, loads of new YouTubers I'm getting recommended.
Yeah, loads of small content. Anyway, I got recommended it, and I was like, all right, most of these are trash, but I'll give this one a chance because it looked kind of flashy. And turns out it was a really good song. And I left a comment. I said, I am shocked. I see these like crap music videos by like really small artists most of the time, but your one stands out. It's good work. And
probably made his day.
You know, they gave it a little love heart, gave it a like, and I thought, yeah, I know that meant a lot to them. So, you know,
see, that's quite reassuring that YouTube's doing that actually.
Yeah,
wish I did for me.
But my issue with YouTube, it's two things. Right? It's no longer passive. So back in the day, you could just, as a hobby almost, you could just upload a video and it does well. Today, you need a full-on marketing degree. You need to network with all social media platforms just to get it viewed by like 1,000 people. And also, I think TikTok's changed the whole dynamic. Like, I feel like you've got to put more subtitles in, more flashiness, just to get people interacting. Like you just pointed out the stimulation.
Yeah.
Because they're so used to just these short 15, 30-second video formats. I think it's actually ruined
attention spans.
Yeah.
Genuinely. I feel that. You know, like there's like just it's a funny clip from a TV show. And it's like, okay, here's Minecraft speedrunning to keep your monkey brain entertained.
Yeah.
It's like interesting. It's why I think that Diesel's doing a very good thing where he's making videos that are shorter than average. Because it keeps people's attention for longer. And I think it's something that I should do more. Normally, I keep my videos to 8 minutes or more because at 8 minutes, you get more adverts. You can put more adverts in your video, which means that the algorithm...
Mr. Moneybags.
No, it means that the algorithm likes it more because it makes more money off it. So I normally do that. But at the moment, I'm very busy. I can't afford to be making those long videos because I just don't have the time for it. So currently I'm working on scaling back videos, just posting little ones more often because consistency is so important, especially on YouTube and on
consistency is key. I know it's
not
new advice. It's not new.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
If you do a video a week, a video every 2 weeks, it's gonna help you so much better than doing one that's a whole lot like longer, but is like every month or every 2 months.
So regarding YouTube specifically, YouTube at the moment, as we mentioned, the algorithm loves subscriber interaction to your video. If your subscribers like it, it gets recommended to other people a lot more. So a key way of keeping that up is interactions and consistency, making sure your fans don't lose interest. And if they are losing interest, you got to know about that with more consistent videos. At the moment, because I study, I had to scale back. I used to do bi-monthly uploads when this was my job. During lockdown, YouTube was my job. I'll get onto that later. And I was uploading bi-monthly, and I could do that. Then I started uni and I had to scale it back a little bit. I had to do monthly. Now I don't even have the time to do that. I'm doing like, month and a half uploads, and it's just not consistent, and it's reflecting in my performance. So it really reinforces that if you can't put the time in, adapt. You've got to be able to be fluid. You've got to be able to be like, okay, reduce it. I don't know if it's going to work. It might not work. I don't know. But, you've got to be able to be fluid on YouTube. You've got to respond to things as they happen.
Jesus Christ. Hang on, sorry.
Diesel just exploded.
What the hell?
He can edit all this stuff out if it's too boring. But so yeah, you gotta be able to adapt, and you gotta be able to notice when things aren't doing well and how to improve them.
Yeah, I wanted to go back quickly to the thing we were talking about with short form content. You want to know what I think started that trend of, people putting like Subway Surfers in the bottom half of the video to keep you entertained?
Stealing funny moments.
I'm sure it was people doing like Reddit reading videos and needing something to put in the background, and then just putting like Minecraft parkour in the background.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that's how it started.
I used to have a lot of audios from my videos stolen and put over Minecraft things because it was more interesting for people to watch. And I think it probably started off there as well. A very big inspiration of mine, a very good YouTuber called Martin Pants. He's famous for his Just Cause 3 speedrunning videos, as well as his general sort of more nerdy content. He plays really, niche games like Kerbal Space Program, or like, I think it's called like Swedish Car Builder. Things that wouldn't normally get views, but because of the way he edits it, it's unique. And that means his fans like his content no matter what he plays, that he's got a unique style. Same as someone like Soviet Womble, who arguably made subtitles a sort of genre, like assimilated with funny moments. His titles are nothing special. His thumbnails are nothing special. If a Soviet Womble started up today, he wouldn't go anywhere with his channel. But he was unique in his editing style. And that means that no matter what he puts out, his fans will watch it. And that is the same with all of the old sort of funny moments people that came out. They did something unique. Same with the modding that we did. It was unique. It's all about uniqueness. And Martin Pants made this point in one of his videos that I love. He said, just do what you enjoy doing. If you keep doing that, it's going to be so much better for you as long as you keep enjoying it. And the second point he made, which was more important, if you are self-aware and intelligent enough and critical enough to know that you are putting out good content, then it's not a case of if your videos blow up, but when.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to know if what you're making is a good video or a bad video.
Would you argue that you should start on YouTube though, or would you start on TikTok?
I would say, going on to that thing, I think self-awareness is one of the most valuable skills that you learn. Because, well, firstly, no one's first YouTube channel is ever going to blow up and be the one that they stick with. If you learn that, the quality and the polish of my old videos wasn't good, I need to improve the polish, improve the quality, improve the audio quality, improve higher resolution if you're going from 720 to 1080, get better timing with audio and music in the background, leave less dead space in terms of, and I'm talking as an editor now, leave less dead space. Volume as well. Volume balancing is something that you won't really think about, but is very important. And then if you can compare yourself and think critically, is this actually good, or am I just seeing it through my own perspective because I made it?
Good way of doing that is get a friend on Discord.
Yeah. If you can look at it and actually see what's wrong with it, then you know how to get better, which is the most important thing as an editor.
Can I also point out that the biggest videos often are the ones you think are dog shit, which is sort of an interesting dynamic.
But then they've got something else going on. They've either got an interesting topic or an interesting style of doing it, or a good thumbnail or a good title. There is more to a video than quality. That makes it good. If you're doing something that is really interesting, but you have no experience with it, it's not going to be a good video. But it will still do well because it's something that is good as a video itself. In terms of editing, things that I did wrong, audio balancing. If you're editing a video, put it on half volume, and then edit to the half volume, because then it fits for most devices. Make sure that everything's sort of staying the same decibels. As Diesel said, dead space in your video. If there's a moment of silence, that's a moment where someone's going to click off.
Shall we talk a little bit about networking? Because none of us has gotten to where we are without each other and other people.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, the biggest success stories on YouTube recently have been groups. You look at KSI, and I don't even know what are they called, the Sidemen or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like the biggest group on YouTube, and now they've like collab. collab with Logan or whatever.
Like the Dream SMP as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Banter.
Did Game Theory or Film Theory do a video on this where they said there was like 3 stages of content? There was like unique early starters, then there was family friendly, then there was group content. And group content worked along the way of, if you all share an audience, you will mutually gain views just through secular viewership.
Yeah.
Someone will always be clicking to the next video, and it will rotate through. The more of you that make the videos, the more content there is available. So if you have a group to start with, it's great. Really good. Like, name some significant groups. As you said, Dream SMP, all that sort of thing.
Well, look at the
Like,
Winkies.
if we're
They're the
talking-
ones we know.
Yeah.
The Winkies, yeah. Yeah,
They're doing
do
really
well
good.
because of the group aspect.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking Minecraft, you've got like Dream SMP, you've got like SMP servers, like Hermitcraft is another big one. One thing you'll learn with YouTube as well, in certain games, everyone knows everyone. So like with Siege, people like Tuxbird, Yummy, Meaty Marley, Big Boy Dom, they all knew each other. They all knew all the other people that are slightly smaller. And they probably all played with each other at different points. And that's sort of how you network as well.
Yeah, it's interesting how close you actually are to a YouTuber if you're making content in a similar category.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Focusing on the topic, how'd you start networking? Starting from square one.
Honestly, I'm not very
How'd
good
you
at it.
start?
Because I'm a bit of a controversial figure. People don't really like to talk to me.
Yeah. What do you think, Chris? Because I think we're sort of probably more experienced with that because we did Instagram.
I thought I was pretty good at networking. To be honest, I got literally 90% of my success on YouTube was from networking, 100%. And I would argue that even in recent time, because I know YouTube likes external links, so they like views that come outside of YouTube that come to YouTube, especially Reddit. And I'm trialing that right now, and it's sort of got my main channel active a bit again. Like I actually got subs off a video for the first time in like a year and a half. It's number 1 on my channel, funnily enough, right now. Yeah, network. It's trial and error though, especially because that's also always changing.
Networking, don't ever be afraid to hit someone up. Just because
Yeah,
you think they
that's
might
it.
be bigger than you, just because you, like, doesn't matter. If you message them and they don't message back, whatever, they never were going to anyway, you know? And so just take a chance and message someone, you know? Ask to play. If you want to come on the podcast, just fucking ask. Bring a topic. Be a pretty good, bring a topic, be good to record with, and have you on here talking about a topic, you know? Don't be afraid to ask people. I've played with people that I never thought I'd play with, ever. People like Buys, or Toasted Shoes, or, was it Cobb I think I played with? Or The Godly Noob. People that were, like, huge, and whose content I actually watched were playing with me, and I was like, okay, and how did this happen exactly? And that is it, you just gotta ask. Look, a lot of people are gonna reject. If you make content, a lot of people have an ego. And they like their ego to be stroked. And if you're not doing that, they're probably not going to talk to you. There are, for all the people I've messaged, probably about 10%, maybe 1% of them have replied. It could be because I'm controversial, or it could just be because them themselves are not particularly a very nice person. You don't know. You only know what they want you to know by watching their videos. Them as a person could be a real dick.
According to some bit like Frizzable spoke, because he spoke to a lot of big YouTubers. To be honest, he did, didn't he?
He did.
And he would say that a lot of them, especially like Marley, would only have very small groups, very small social circles that they trusted enough to record with.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of
Yes.
people have their circle and they don't want to expand it. They're happy
Yeah.
with who they have and they don't feel the need to. So that could be another factor. It's difficult to get in touch with someone, but once you do, just chat to them normally. Don't treat them like they're any different to you. All you need to do is just have a conversation with them. You know, if you don't have time to play with them, tell them that and just say, look, I don't have time, but happy for a conversation, happy to message. Because, to be honest, the hardest thing I've had to do on YouTube was, like, try and make friends with people. It's nice to have people to talk to about your content, and the best part about the YouTube is socializing with people and making friends. And that's sort of the main thing for me. Yeah, it's just a shame when people don't see that the same way.
So going back to networking, what I do think as well is really important nowadays is don't just grow on one platform. Grow on Instagram, grow on YouTube, grow on TikTok, and tie it all together. Have one brand that you put out there. And I mean, this is what everyone does, but it's worth highlighting that very important to do because you're basically widening your net to capture your audience and bring them in.
And also, like, on the railway platform, literally just scream your name, scream your YouTube channel,
Yeah.
wear a sign that says subscribe to me. Do you know how I got my first 300 subscribers?
How did you do
Sitting
that?
in Discord day after day, asking people to subscribe or watch my videos.
Oh no, sub for sub, bro, sub for sub. Oh, yeah, okay, here's another. Don't do sub for sub, bro. Sub
No,
for sub is the
doesn't work.
worst thing.
Don't compromise your ideals. And listen, if you go out of your way to try and get subscribers who aren't interested in your content, you will have a big problem later on. Don't do that.
That won't convert into views.
No, it won't.
You'll have a big sub number and you'll still get like what, zero views, 10 views. You could be on 500 subs and you got them from sub for sub. You're getting no views.
I'm gonna depress everyone for a second and say YouTube as a job sucks. So when COVID hit, I was made redundant and I spent a year, or sorry, it was actually 9 months, doing nothing. We were all locked inside. And that's when Modded Siege was coincidentally at its biggest. So YouTube became my job, not by any fault of my own, just because, well, what else could I do? But you know what? It fucking killed the passion. Really did. Because YouTube is, in essence, and this is the way I like to describe it, imagine you own a business making burgers in a little mobile van that you can park up at the side of a highway, and you sell your burgers to the cars that stop in the lane, right? So you're there, and you have to make the same amount of burgers every day to meet your, to supply the people who you're going to serve. One day you might have, the whole lane full of cars, and you're making constant burgers to keep giving them out, keep selling them. And then the next day, you might not have anyone come in. It's completely out of your control, but you still have to make the same amount of burgers. That is the same as YouTube. You have to make the same amount of content constantly, but YouTube entirely dictates whether you're actually going to get views and make money. So as a job, it's so much stress. All the time you're thinking, will I even get views tomorrow? Will I even make any money tomorrow? How am I going to pay for anything? It's completely out of your control. Yeah, you can make good content, but it might not matter. YouTube might have a bad day where they go, we're just not going to recommend your video purely by chance. Could be down to 100 of your subs being at a party that day. And so they don't see it, and so it doesn't get recommended, and so you crash. Your video crashes, and it's so much stress that it kills your passion. So what you got to do if you want to make YouTube a career, you got to do something that you genuinely enjoy, and you don't do it as your job. You do it as a side thing. That is the key, I think, to having it as your job. You got to be able. It's got to be a hobby that you make money off of, not a job. For my situation at the time, I was locked inside 24 hours a day, churning out videos. I need to have them flop, and it was completely out of my control. Extremely demotivating. And I know a lot of YouTubers also have that problem where they get so demotivated. So what it's got to be is a hobby. Don't place all your bets on it. Don't have it as your only income, because it will suck. That's all I've got to say on that. It really does kill the passion.
See, I've got no idea whether this is true or not, whether this is actually just something I came up with. But do you reckon that during lockdown, the sheer amount of volume that people like you, Banter, were putting onto the platform probably hindered everyone else's performance equally, if you know what I mean?
I would say no, because a lot more people were watching content.
That's true.
And that's
true.
why Netflix is struggling at the moment, because so many people were bored, and then they've all unsubscribed because they're not bored anymore. They've got stuff to do. However, oversaturation is a big problem. It's what can kill channels. Having too many people making the same kind of content. Among Us, for example. Some people did Among Us early on, got really popular.
Yeah.
And then when more people did it, it got less popular. I think also streaming is a bigger platform than it ever has been. I think if you could stream whatever you're doing and make videos off of the stream, that would be very beneficial. But me personally, I would like a different format of content for me to be good at. But because I've only done funny moments, I don't really know what else to do ever.
Chris, how did you sort of get into and like set your heart on animating?
Well, when I physically couldn't upload anything, which I won't get into, I was like, well, this is a bit bollocks. So I literally, just for the heck of it, I went, cartoons. I used to love them as a kid, and I used to be obsessed with SpongeBob memes. So I figured I tried it with Blender first, and I like Blender. I got all right at it, but I preferred the creativity of doing it myself, like the whole rigmarole of the whole set of me drawing it.
This guy, Tom P. Bates, he makes this series called where he follows two characters, Marmalade the Magician and Nigel his dog, or other way round. He follows two characters, Marmalade the dog and Nigel the wizard, and I think it's so funny. His animations are amazing.
Great, let's see.
And they're so simple, but it's perfect. It is perfect for content because it's limitless creative value. If you look at that guy's animations, he's not even doing anything too complicated. He's drawn an image and he's animating the mouth. That's pretty much all he does for most of them.
It's worse than that, man. Well, it's good. It's better than that. All he's doing, he's got it in a loop. So he's made a symbol on Adobe Animate or whatever, and he just copies and pastes it and it loops itself. You can see with the backgrounds as well. It's two separate drawings, and that's it.
You don't need to have perfect quality stuff. Some of the best content is stuff that's so heavily stylized that it looks good. For instance, that which I just showed, Aardman animations, Wallace and Gromit, Chicken Run. They're they're only 24 FPS, but they're stylized in a way that makes them have this own charm. Do you remember Salad Fingers?
Yeah,
Salad Fingers is something that is so stylized that it was iconic. I mean, llamas in hats. It was just two still images of llamas, and some guy had just animated the mouths to move. And it was just the dialogue that made it absolutely iconic. Like Charlie the Unicorn, same thing, same guy. You don't need to do something fancy to make good content. You just need to know it's good. You need to be critical, and you got to think, is this good, or am I just overinflating it? I think it's something like only 1% of channels will make it past 1,000 subs.
Yeah, it's something like only 1% of podcasts will make it past
21 episodes. But that's why we're recording every single day this week. We're not.
One thing I've noticed, sort of through my time, is, and especially reflecting on myself, remember that key self-analysis. In terms of stuff like audio quality is the main thing. Audio quality, video quality, you need to make that good, like, from the get-go. So there's no point spending like £10 on a mic, which you're then going to upgrade to like a £30 mic 6 months later, which you're then going to upgrade to like a £50 mic 6 months later, which you're then going to get a proper mic like 2-3 years later. Go big straight away, because you need to build solid foundations of good quality, and that will help you grow so much quicker than all these starting channels that have like terrible microphones. No one's gonna watch your channel.
Good point.
If it's got terrible audio quality, when there are so many other channels out there which are actually more pleasing on the ear to listen to, if you know what I mean.
Audio's important. Good mics are cheap now. A Snowball, what's that, 60 quid? 80
Yeah,
quid?
I bought my Snowball 2 years ago maybe for 45 quid, and it still sounds great.
I used a Snowball for many years, and it never failed me. I went to a Yeti because I bought it for ASMR, and I think the Yeti sound is better. It had the microphone is more versatile.
There's different price ranges, but you want it to sound like not terrible.
To my knowledge, a Snowball is still the best microphone for value.
For the price, yeah. I think under 50 quid, it's still the best one out there.
I think it still is. My headset is, I think it was £80, Arctic SteelSeries Arctic X. My webcam is like 40 quid. You don't need a lot, really, to start YouTube.
Yeah.
You don't even need, if you're doing animations, you don't even need a drawing
Don't even
pad.
need anything, though.
Yeah, Chris does his animations with a mouse. And
yeah.
What was your biggest one? You got like 1 million views on TikTok or something?
Oh, I got more than that.
Yeah,
5 million.
That. 5 million. That's more than I've ever had for animations done with a mouse. You don't even need a drawing pad.
Yeah, going back to what you were saying about the Snowball, do you want to know what I did? Which is why I'd sort of brag that my Snowball sounds best compared to other Snowballs. I added an extra pop filter and also a sock to condense it even further, because the Snowball is sort of renowned for being very sort of high sensitivity.
Mm-hmm.
So you you get it straight away out the box. You have to turn down the gain. Sort of, I went into OBS as well and changed the audio. What's the thing called? Equalizer. The equalizer. Sorry, yeah, I went into the equalizer and I made it sound better. So just take that little bit of care into making your things sound good, look good, sort of appeal.
Yeah, and there are great free softwares out there. GIMP is a great free Photoshop tool, has all the same features, just a little bit different. There's tutorials for everything. Don't feel like you're lost because you don't know what to do. There's tutorials on YouTube for everything. If you want to be a tutorial channel, well, I don't even know where you'd start, but I guess there's a tutorial for being a tutorial channel. And if you wanted to do like 3D modeling, loads of tutorials, loads of free softwares. Some of the best ones are free. Blender, it's free. Yeah, it's genuinely, there's so much out there. You just got to have that creative drive and the sensibility to know if you're making good content or not. The good attitude to have is every video you make your next one better.
And obviously you don't have to be as like insane as that, but just little things over time. Think nailing down the audio levels, making sure you cut down on every bit of dead space, or making sure the subtitles are all synced up as perfectly as they can be.
It's trial and error. You learn as you go. Oh, also, big thing, internet footprint. Careful what you say. Genuinely careful what you say. I've made that mistake many, many times. I regularly purge my videos of things I say that I look back on now and I'm like, oh my god, that was horrific. Why did I think that was funny?
Well, the problem is they keep changing the boundaries for that. So you can't say anything.
You don't know what's going to be offensive next year, but that's why it's conscious to keep that in mind.
Yeah, make sure you follow the rules for 2025. I know they haven't made them yet, but make sure you follow them. And on that note, I think that's a very good place to end.
Yeah.
I've been your host, Just Diesel. I've been joined by Bantermain and Chris.
Hello and goodbye.
And, make sure you check out all of our socials.
Subscribe to our YouTube.
Cheeky sub. Yes.
Share our videos.
Join the Discord if you want to talk to us. We all use it. We're always there.
Yep. Always see it. And if you want to come on the podcast, just come with a good suggestion and be good to record with. Really, that's all we really want.
And any last bits from you guys?
Boobs in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Oh my, yeah.
Smosh did it right.
Smosh
and on that bombshell, it's time to end. Goodbye.
Goodbye.